Hey there, everyone. Nice to see you all again and welcome back. I hope that you are all still very well and you are still hungry to learn new things about business. Before we get to today's topic, I would like to welcome every new subscriber. I hope that you really learn something new and get your friends to also subscribe and also follow me on Instagram under the Business Studies Guy with three S's. And something new that I want you all to go and like is my new Facebook page. Obviously, the name stays the same. So go and like my Facebook page, follow me on Instagram, and click on the subscribe button on your screen right now. You won't regret it. Okay, so today's topic, the difference between the marketing function and the public relations function. I found that a lot of people get confused between the two and they cannot really see the difference between these two functions. So I decided to talk about the difference between them and to make it a bit clearer on what it is that each of these functions actually do. All right, so first we're going to start with the marketing function, and they are both obviously part of the 8 business functions, and you cannot separate any of these functions. You cannot just have 4 of the 8 functions in your business or 7 of the 8. You need all 8 functions together present at your business, or there's no business. All right, so let's look at the marketing function. Now, the whole purpose of marketing is to get the consumer out there to take note of your product or your service and then eventually convince them to come and buy your product or service. All right, but there's a little bit more than that when it comes to marketing. All right. The main thing is, as I said, to get their attention. You want them to take note of your either product or business. Okay, so you want their attention. And when you have that attention, you can start focusing on sort of convincing them why they need this product. Okay, you need to create a need for your product or service within them. Okay. When you have that, you will eventually make them believe that they cannot live without this. Okay, you need to use your words, to use your tactics, to make them believe that they cannot live without this product or service. So much so that they eventually go into action and they go and buy your product. That is what marketing is all about. Now, there are 4 tools that we use in marketing to achieve that. And I'm quickly going to touch on each of these 4 tools. They are called the 4 P's of marketing, as in the letter P. They are product, place, price, and promotion. Now, they can be in any order. It doesn't matter. But these 4 P's goes hand in hand with marketing. When it comes to your product, you want to make that product look presentable. You want to draw the customer's attention by just looking at your product. Now, there you can use certain colors to draw their attention. You can also make sure that your packaging is attractive. Apart from the fact that it needs to be solid and it needs to protect the actual product, it also needs to draw the customer's attention. Okay. The quality of your product is also very important, because who's going to buy a product that's of low quality? So that's the product. Next we have the place. And when it comes to place, you have to decide not only where your business will be located, but also how easy it will be for your potential customers to get to your business. We see a lot of Facebook pages out there. We see a lot of advertisements of businesses, and then there's no address, there's no contact detail, there's nothing that you can use to get into contact with them to find out where they are located. And that makes it difficult for the customer to get to you. So you need to be in the right place for your potential customers. Then we get to what we call the price. Now, I know to a lot of you and to most people, the price might be the most important factor of a product. It might be the actual deal breaker here. Now, when it comes to price, it's very, very important to not set your price too high, because obviously people won't buy it. They will rather go for the probably better known brand at a much lower rate. Okay, so they're not going to buy it if it's too expensive. Easy as that. On the other hand, you don't really want to make it too cheap, because that might give the impression that the quality of the product is not up to standard compared to other better known brands, or also well known brands, not necessarily better known. Then how do you set the price? What do you look at? Well, a few things that you can use to determine your price are, first of all, you need to look at your production costs, and add your markup. All right, so let's say it costs you 5 Rand to buy or to make this product, and then you add your profit, which is another 5 Rand, and then you sell it for 10 Rand, for example. The other option that you have is to look at other competitors and what they charge for similar products, so that you are more or less in the same region when it comes to the price. If it's slightly higher, it's always a good thing to be able to motivate why. Maybe yours is of better quality, maybe your service is better, maybe your after-sales service is better, maybe you have an extra feature that your competitors do not have in their product. If it's slightly cheaper, it must be done in such a way that it does not create the impression that it's a low quality product. Slightly cheaper, not a lot. Okay, only slightly cheaper. Right. Then when we get to promotion, it's also important to use certain marketing fields and marketing tactics to get your product out there. A lot of businesses use what we call samples, which is an example, a smaller example of the actual product. Let's think about deodorant products. You'll find it inside the plastic cover of a magazine, for example. Body lotion. A lot of times they do the same. They do the same thing. So there are a lot of different promotional tactics out there, and you need to find that special thing that makes your product stand out from its competitors. Another thing that's very important when it comes to marketing is obviously your target market, the people that you think your product will appeal to. I always say it's not going to help a lot if you buy, or rather sell, a very expensive product to someone that's fresh out of school, because they don't have that career yet. They don't have that stable source of income yet. So they won't be able to buy that expensive product. You need to have a product that appeals to a certain group of people. Now that group can be determined by either age, gender, whatever the criteria might be that you use. it's not necessarily rich or poor people. That's your target market. All right, so that's the 4 P's of marketing. It's price, product, place, and promotion. All right, that's marketing. On the other hand, we have public relations. Now, public relations, the name tells you basically what they're doing. They need to form a relationship with the public, aka the customer. All right, how do they do that? They need to convince the customer that this business of ours are doing or is doing the right thing. We are doing the right thing, and that's why you need to support us. Now, by just buying and selling stuff, it's not, that doesn't separate us from the competitors. We need to do something extra to separate us and to make us better than our competitors. An example of that is what we call CSR, or corporate social responsibility. And that's a whole new field and a topic for another video for another day. But in short, CSR is basically the business's responsibility to give back to the community so that they don't just suck up their money as a sponge, basically. Okay, they want to give back to the community. They also want to serve the community for supporting them in return. Examples of CSR is cleaning the local rivers or parks, for example. Handing out blankets to an orphanage nearby during the winter. Donating food parcels to people in need. So it's putting that extra effort into the community. Furthermore, the public relations function is also responsible for telling the customer and the public what's happening inside the business. Any sort of good news that happens inside the business can be shared with the public. We can use different platforms for that. Social media is a very effective platform that we can use to tell the public about what's happening inside of the business. So to be clear on the big difference between marketing and public relations is the following. Marketing deals with telling the customer about the product or the service that we sell. That's their job. They want to sell the product. End of story. Public relations, on the other hand, is telling the public what happens inside the business. What's happening in the background of the business. So hopefully you can see now that there is a difference between marketing and public relations. Marketing tells you about the product. Public relations tells you about what's happening in the background of the business. So I hope that you learned something, and just a reminder to please subscribe and follow me on Instagram, and don't forget that new Facebook page to go and like. Thanks for watching. Until we see again, stay safe. Cheers.